So yeah, I think there's a huge problem with bypassing like toxic positivity. And I know we see it a lot on Instagram and on social media when things are in bite-sized pieces. And I don't know, do you have any feelings or thoughts around any of that?
Yeah, I absolutely do. And I think any of the work that we do is really about the energetics. And you can always know things in theory. Like in theory, we should be happy, we should get over it, and you live and you die. Like that's facts, right? Like so in theory we know that, but what's the energetics beyond? Where are the energetics of what we're teaching and preaching and what we're living by? And so, part of what I train sound healers and I train breathwork facilitators, and part of our journey in doing that is I'm always like really serious about them being in practice of what they teach. So don't let me catch you be a breathwork facilitator who never goes to breathwork. Don't let me catch you holding space for 10 million people when you can't even cry in front of anyone. You can't even say that. And that balance might look differently for you in a different season of your life. But the part of it that becomes bypassing is that if we're only driving in one lane, but we're not driving in the other lane, or we don't ever look back and say like, am I ever gonna, circulate this energy back into myself and really embody the energetics of what it is that I teach. And in the same way that you wouldn't go to learn guitar from a guitar teacher who doesn't know how to play guitar, like I don't trust you. So I wouldn't like to go to a sound healer that doesn't practice their craft or expand on their knowledge, or a business coach who doesn't own a business, or a kind of mentor, right? Like everybody's like Instagram famous nowadays. And so it doesn't necessarily matter what happens on the back end. And, it's like, do you actually do the thing that you practice? And the part where bypassing comes from us is that we're trying to skip a lot of steps, and not because we are ill-intended. I don't think that everybody who bypasses is like ill-intended. I think intentions are important when we think about like how bypassing happens. Sometimes it's from our own experiences, sometimes because we just didn't know better. But in a world where we have leaders that are BIPOC, that are, diverse, that we're in the virtual age where we can learn, we have podcasts to listen to, like you're not stuck because you don't have access to information nowadays. You're not stuck because you don't have access to information, but will you take that time to educate yourself and feel through that discomfort of some of the things that you think that are actually contributing to inequality or, inaccessibility or whatever it is that it's contributing to? Maybe it's your bad because you didn't know, but are you doing anything to know about it? Are you doing anything to dismantle your own thought processes based in colonization, based in capitalism, based in, your upbringing, based in, things that maybe, are not directly your fault per se, but you have a role to play in that. So in a nutshell, I definitely think like all of us are guilty for bypassing in certain ways because we're stuck in our own ways of thinking too. We have our own biases and thought processes. We have implicit biases, we have explicit biases. And so all of those things will always exist because we're human. We can't expect for us not to have, any kind of influence on like the way we are. Like we are the way we are because of like we experienced shit in our life, and that's what brought us here. And so we can't be mad at other people for that same reason. However, and like there's information for people to do their research at the same time.
Thanks for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed this, click here to check out the full podcast episode. Click here to check out our full library of podcast episodes. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you can be the first to know when we're posting new ones. I'll see you soon.